Midnight Ramen is a minimally edited, live recorded podcast that takes place at midnight. Although Michael may not be consuming food, it's time to get your bowls out. It's chow time.
But I'll come back to you. Break stride, I'm sailing me. Free falling, choose my enemy. Free from the things you say. It will all come back someday.
Good evening, gamers and other folks alike. I hope y'all are doing well tonight. You are listening to Midnight Rum with me, Michael. I hope y'all are doing okay. Today, I was going to try and rhyme or something like that. I don't know what I was trying to do there. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, that's yeah. Yeah. But I hope y'all are doing okay today. There we go. Okay, wait. That's just the same thing I just said. That's stupid. This bit is not funny. I will admit that, and I will stop it. Let's just go into the intro because you are listening to Midnight Raw with me, Michael. I hope y'all are doing okay. God damn it, I just said that already. If you want to watch this live, you can go to twitch.tv/Melted Original. All one word. Capitalize. You don't have to capitalize. It doesn't really matter. I know in previous episodes, like almost like a year ago, I was definitely saying to do that, but you don't need to. If you can find my silhouette, you'll know. Or something else. But I don't intend to change it, but yeah. If it ever does happen that I do change my thing, which I don't know if why I would, because my friend Grace made a pretty freaking great silhouette, little art with I know I have it somewhere, I just don't remember where I put it, and now's not the time, and I digress. You can watch this live where you can see all of this unedited and stuff like that, even though there's not a whole lot to it. And you can watch the after show where you see me just basically adding the podcast and doing other stuff as well. And as well as other streams that I do on Twitch that I do. Which the other day I just did a Hades 2 stream because it just went into early access. And I love Hades because I just love roguelikes. And it's a very good one because I know how to build a very good story and very good progression system. And just hooks to keep you playing. Yeah, but if you do miss the podcast or streams, you can watch it on Twitch for, the time that it's on there for the 2 weeks. And while it's on there, you can still watch all that other stuff. But if you do miss it, you can go to my YouTube channel where I do post these VODs as well as other videos that I do. Funny videos of varying length and stuff like that on there as well. Yeah, I think that sums it up. TikTok, as long as it's here, if it stays, I don't know. Yeah, I need to post more on there, but I haven't recently. Kind of because it's up in the air if it's actually going to be there, but who knows. But today, I feel like I want to talk about some deep lore stuff. Things that about me that are I feel like I've definitely told him before, things that I haven't really spoken about. Not love interest and stuff like that. No. We're talking about did you know that I did blank when I was blank? Stuff like that. Because it just feels fun. One of those days I want to do that. So the first thing I wanted to talk about this past weekend was the Kentucky Derby, where Mystic Dan was the winner. He's probably I've known and learned and been trained to handicap horses since I was young, very young, and I'm damn good at it. I'm gonna say I'm very good at handicapping horses. that day wasn't a really good one for me. Like at the beginning, I was doing good. I was doing good because I was getting like the winners and stuff like that, but I wasn't. My bets were not aligning up, which that happens from time to time, and it's gambling. It's gambling. I don't do it that often, but I know how to do it very well. I do not support sports gambling, but I do horse racing because it's like there's a lot of factors and reasons and ways that if you can't really cheat, and if you do cheat, oh, it's huge. It could just like ruin a track. It could ruin a horse track and be very bad. And like, unless if you get a very bad track, like you're not gonna get, slack and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think. The first time I really like learned how to do it, my dad showed me how to do it. Was like I was like 8. Whenever we moved up to Minnesota, I think maybe a year or two after, because like some weekends he'd go out there during the summer, and there's only like so much you could do. There was like there's a playground there that we'd always go on there, but as we got bigger, the jungle gym isn't really something that we could physically be in, just because of our sheer size. So while we're sitting there, my dad's like, "Oh, here's how you do it," and just taught me how to do it along with his racing buddies that have come to know and stuff like that. Some have passed away because they, and I've known a lot of good, heard a lot of good stories about it and things I should not talk about that have occurred, not like in a bad way, but sometimes in a bad way, because of my dad and his friends, doing horse betting stuff. I'm not a huge, like, I am definitely, I want to say I'm not a huge gambler. I'm not. But when it comes to horse racing, I like doing a win play show stuff sort of thing isn't huge because most of the time you're not getting a huge payoff. And that's like, it's secure in that way. But I tend to do a lot riskier stuff, doing like exactas, which you call what horse is going to be in first and second, or doing like multiple races in a row, which is, riskier. But, if you do that, you get more money. Duh. That's how that works. So I tend to do multiple races or just like, oh, this horse is going to win, this horse is going to place, or stuff like that, because like it's oddly funner to guess that and to figure out what horses you know are gonna be like. It's broader, so like if there's a lot of fail safes into it, and I don't want to go into the semantics of horse betting, and I do not want to promote gambling, but at the same time, I kind of want to say, hey, here's how I do it. Here's whatever. I personally do not do it. If you like, it's fun every once in a while, but do not do it all the time. But yeah, I've learned how to like suss out like a lot of the horses and narrow down the field to, oh, it's going to be this horse and this horse, and finding like, because it's just basically athletes. They're just athletes, and finding how a horse runs compared to a different horse. Or it was like, oh, they've raced against each other before. They've had like this horse ran one time, the other horse won the other time. How is it going to pan out this time? And then you compare like, oh, how are they training? What's their speed? What distances are they running? What's the condition of the track? Sometimes what jockey is riding, stuff like that. What's the size of the purse? Because purse sizes can matter. The bigger the purse, the higher quality of the horse, typically. Things like that come into account of how you determine which horse is going to win. But mainly it's like how fast a horse is, because end of the day, it's a horse. Like, they're just going to run. They want to run. Yeah. But why I do not promote sports gambling, why I would say, if anything, horse gambling, you would never catch me doing a sports bet, because there is so much BS in sports betting, because like, it's odd that the leagues are sponsoring these sites and things like that encourage sports gambling, almost as if they can, and I don't want to say it's in a bad way, but it's almost as if they can possibly manipulate it so that certain teams can win, and it makes it better, more profitable for the league if a certain team were to win. That's problematic. That's very problematic, and that's happening in every national sports league, and there's not a whole lot of regulation to that. And to me, that's not cool. When like I think one ad, it's like one of them's like, oh, you sign on, you get like $100 bonus. That's a lot of money to start out with. I wonder how they're going to get that money back, because yeah, you're going to lose that money pretty damn quick, because you're fighting against like people that know how to do that sort of stuff and are capable of like, hey, I know how this is going to work. I know how these players are going to be. We might be able to manipulate them. Shit happens. Like say with for the Timberwolves, one of the key defense players had a fucking kid the day of one of the games against the Denver Nuggets. And people are like, oh, they might be bad. And it's like, why doesn't he just stay? The kid's going to be there, which is a horrible way to think. Like, dude should be there for the birth of his child. Like, the kid, yes, will be there, but he's going to miss the birth of his child. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. But like, even without him, they just slaughtered the Denver Nuggets. And I'm not a huge sports guy at all. Like, I don't watch a whole lot of sports, but like, going into halftime with 60 to 30, like a 30-point gap. Holy fuck, dude. That is a lot of points. Like, you're not coming back from that. You gotta like they could be playing with their food the entire time. That is depressing. Like, and I hope the Timberwolves do win this year, because that would be cool. I have no stakes in it, but if they do win, awesome. Plus, also today, I was like talking with some coworkers and stuff like that, and I don't know how in the world it came up. All of a sudden now, if the Timberwolves lose at any point during this season, it's on me. But I should approach one of our guys, because I know every single time he goes to a home game of the Timberwolves, they lose. So I should probably make I'm making this caveat when I go into work on next, being like, hey, if you go to any game of theirs and they lose that game, any blame of them losing that would be blamed on me is on you 5,000%. And it's baloney. It's nothing. Means nothing, but it's just funny to say that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not a huge sports betting guy, but I do occasionally dabble in horse racing from time to time. That's a big one I wanted to talk about, because like even when I was in high school, one of the gym teachers that I knew, and this is like the year of American Pharoah, which is like the first horse in fucking a lot, like since Secretariat or like around then, that won the Triple Crown. And for those who don't know, the Triple Crown is the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and I can't remember the other one. Belmont Stakes. And if you win all three of those, you're Triple Crown winner. And like, those are the three biggest races But the thing about them too is that they're very close together. And if you like, you can win the Kentucky Derby. That's big. That's like the one to win. But if you went, wait, no, was it Preakness? No, Preakness at the end. Yeah, Preakness is at the end of the season. So you win the Kentucky Derby. That's like the big one. That's the big one. I think Belmont is second. I can't fucking remember. Like, it blanks. So like they're in pretty close succession, like a couple weeks apart from each other. And that's not a lot of time because like you're not giving your horses time to really get that good rest and recovery. And it's like for any sports thing, like if you don't have enough rest, you're not going to perform as well. And if you're not performing as well, you're going to lose. And so winning the Triple Crown is a sign like, holy crap, you are the best of the best. And if you're able to do that, and it's usually the same horses racing in all three, but winning all three races is huge. And in most cases, I hate to say this in a bad way, but like after those races, those horses don't tend to race well because by that point they're just like exhausted and not to say ruined. But like, you've beaten the best of the best. You don't have to race as hard, nor like you're not training as intensive and doing a lot of stuff. They're not going to be doing as well because they're not in that intense zone, which is in some cases is fine. But it's like with at a couple I feel like over a decade ago when like Ronda Rousey was like the hugest thing in MMA, in female MMA fighting. But then she goes on all these like publicity stunts and tours and advertising and things like that. And then she goes back into the ring and gets her ass kicked in like the second period. Like, yeah, that's what happens when you're not training. That's exactly what happens when you're not training. And yeah, she might have taken a good blow to the head, but like still, you don't train, you won't win. Yeah. That's kind of how that works. And her opponent trained harder than she did, or as hard as she did when she was doing all this training. But that's what happens. But enough about sports stuff. Talked enough about sports. I'm not a huge sports guy either, although I will dabble. And I've talked about like sports before, but I'm not like a huge sports guy. Like you get me on professional sports, I can't tell you shit. A whole lot. I already told the Harmon Kilber story, so I'm not going to tell it again, or not right now. But I will probably tell another story from when I was a kid. Actually, I'm trying to think of which story I should tell. Okay, so one time. No, not that one. Well, I already told diving stuff. I know I told diving stuff. You know what? I might as well do another the diving. I already did. You know what? I already did that diving story. I did the entire diving story on another episode of the podcast. I can't remember which one off the bat, but it wasn't too long ago. Go a couple episodes back, you'll find it. Of me talking about diving and stuff like that. Chain movie theaters. Sure. So when I was growing up, the main movie theaters that we would go to, like we had a lot of movie theaters going, like when I was growing up, like even, I feel like even now, like there's a lot of movie theaters of where I'm at now, just because. But when I was a kid, there was a movie theater that we used to go to that's now like a medical clinic. We'd always go there for a bunch of movies. That's like it was close by, but the main chain of movie theaters was called Harkins, and like that's if we want to go like see big ones. And they also had like a kids daycare at some of them, or at least a few of them, or the ones that we went to, because like there would be like movies that my parents would want to go see, and like yeah, I don't want to be bringing. You don't want to be bringing me like a 4-year-old child into an R-rated movie. No. like R-rated rom-com. It's like, no, not a good idea. It's like, let's not, and say we didn't. Or an action movie. It's like, I'm not going to pay attention. It's going to be too loud. So like we would always be in those, and they had like cool, like fun stuff that we could do and things like that, daycare things. But those were like the bigger ones that we would go to, and they'd always like play trailers in like the lobby area. Like they had like an overhead screen thing that they would just play trailers and things on, which was really cool. Like big lobbies. They were big. They're big movie theaters too. And I'm trying to think if there's another one. And there was a drive-in movie theater that we'd always go to. That we would go to sometimes. That also wasn't too far away. We saw quite a few there. Like even when I was like, I don't know if I was born. Well, I was born, but I was like too young to even remember. What movies did they see? Damn it. Oh, so Mulan came out, and they watched it while my sister would, they watched that movie initially. The thing about driving movie theaters is that, or at least the one that was there, is like you could tune it on I think it was on the AM radio, so you could listen into movies not even watching them. Like you could be at one theater, see something on the complete opposite side, and this was like a huge one, so like 360, you could see a movie and just tune in and listen to that. Like if you listen to that frequency, you can watch that movie. There were a lot of movies that we would watch, but the first one that like they keep talking and like remembering about, it's like they brought me and my sister to Mulan, and once Mulan was done and my sister was sleeping and stuff like that, they're like, let's watch this movie, and it was Night of the Roxburies. So whenever we watch that movie, we always are told that story, and like the like, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Like it's a good movie. It's a funny movie. Out of like the SNL movies that have came out because of the skits, like that's definitely one of the better ones. I one infamous one that I've heard about is called It's Pat, which does not age well. It's about the like, this character that you don't know what their gender is, and they like kind of make a lot of jokes about how presumptuous it is, and like, they do female and male things, so it's like androgynous, I guess, but it's like it's really, really like it's a little weird, and like people are actively going out of the way to figure it out, so it's like this is not aging well. Like some other movies I remember watching there all the time at the drive-in movie theater. Epic movie. Yeah, for some reason, when I was a kid, I fucking loved that movie. It's so bad, but at the time, it was so funny. At the time. And then the one infamous movie before he moved from Arizona was Spider-Man 3. Why? Because Spider-Man 3 is dark as shit. Like, it's so dark. Like, we tried watching it 3 separate times. 3 separate times. The first time we watched it at the drive-in movie theater. It's so dark, we all fell asleep and woke up at the end of the movie. We literally could not see half the movie because it was so like black on black. It's like there's other movies playing that are brighter, so it's like in contrast, we literally cannot see what's happening. And then the next time we go to, the small one nearby, and during it's like one of the scenes with Harry Osborn in it, the film like dies on us, and we were there for like 10-15 minutes, and they're like, yeah, we're refunding you because the film like whatever got ripped or torn or damaged or something like that. So then we tried watching it the third time, and this third time was when like we were selling our house there, and so like me and my mom and my sister wanted to go see the Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, or no, I think it was At World's End. I think that's it. I want to say it's that one. So they go see that. Me and my dad go see Spider-Man 3 for the third time. We go in, and it's going, and he gets a call, middle of the movie. He's like, well, someone's got to go to the house, and he volunteered. So what I had to do, because I'm still a kid, I can't fucking stay in a movie theater like that. And I don't know how long the run time of the movie was, but this is also during the time of like selecting your seat. You still have stadium seats, so like you can just walk into a movie theater and call it good. So I just went over and sat with my mom and sister and watched like good chunk of like it wasn't too far into Spider-Man 3 either, but it was like at least a good quarter of the way in. So like I watched a good chunk of At World's End or Dead Man's Chest. I don't know which one it was. I think it was At World's End. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to look it up. I don't have the. Hold on. You know what? Now that I'm just saying it. Caribbean in order. It was 2007. It was At World's. Wait. Yeah, it was At World's End. Hold on. And then do Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 came out in 2007. So yeah, it was At World's End. I was right. It does make sense. I had to look it up. I just wanted to make sure that I was right. That's what the sounds are for. That's what they're for. That's what the mask is. That's the point of the mask. Son of the Mask. Oh, God. I remember watching that movie. Ugh. Honestly, like as a kid too, like I wasn't in full aware context of the movie, but like getting older, it's like, yeah, that movie sucked. But Alan Cummings fucking kicked ass in it, dude. Let's be honest. Alan Cummings kicked fucking ass in that movie as Loki. Like, I feel like if it wasn't for that movie and he tried going out for, the Thor stuff, he would be Loki. Like, on God. If Tom Hiddleston wasn't there, it would be Alan Cummings. Let's be honest with ourselves. Because dude fucking pulls it off real well. And he's a Scot. He's a Scotsman. Fucking rep. Hell yeah. I love repping and ripping. Some magic cards. Let's get into some magic cards. Hell yeah. So I'm going to roll my D4 a couple times and see how many packs I'm going to open. 2. Nope, I'm not doing 1. Not doing 1. Feels like I'm not even rolling, but not doing 1. 3. I'm not doing 1. Not doing 1. God, can I get a different number? 3 packs. Okay. So we got a D6. We're going to roll and see. Actually, got the packs flipped around. So roll. So 5. 6. And 1. Ooh. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1. Well, there we go with that. We are opening a collector booster tonight. That's actually pretty sick. Yeah. So we're gonna open up the regular play boosters first. I'm gonna move my mic over a little bit so I can actually look at the cards, I think. And I've been thinking a little bit earlier today, like, Magic players have like in the main sets, they've been really eating well, except for like, a few main sets. Like for the most part, like in comparison to like before, when they were doing like the standard 3 blocks or 2 sets or whatever, Magic players are fucking eating well now. Like eating well. Like you can get good cards for kind of cheap, and like different alt arts and stuff like that for kind of cheap. It's not bad. Not a bad deal. Make your own luck. Longhorn Sharpshooter. Overzealous Muscle. Daring Thunder Thief. Sterling Hound. Consuming Ashes. Dead-Eye Duelist. Drover something. Steer Clear. Human Cleric Token. Bristling Backwoods. Almost thought there was like a printing error, but there isn't. Ooh, foil Gitrog, Ravenous Ride. That's a mythic there. Hell yeah. Fierce Retribution. Another round for the rare, and Map the Frontier. That's actually pretty sick. The Gitrog monster, love it. That was a good pack. Pack 2. And we got a good open. That's actually pretty nice. Right there. Good enough. Pack trick, 3, 2, 1, flip. Stubborn Burrow Fiend. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this pack. Let's throw it over there. Beast Hound Outcaster. Badlands Revival. Something like that. Wasted Griffin. Or Wanted Griffin. Skullduggery. Focus. There we go. Stop Cold. Drover Grizzly. Mythical Tether. Highway Robbery. Token, art token. Oh, foil desert thing. Ooh, that's actually pretty sick. A little art card. We got a foil Spinewood Paladin. Buried in the Garden for the Prosperity alt art, whatever. Loot! Gain everything. Man, these packs are freaking good today. It's high noon. Oh man, what the heck? Oh, that's a good one. Oh. So expectations are very high. I'm just going to say expectations are incredibly high for this. If not, I don't know, man. I might just end it. Just kidding. No. Don't. Shit. I hate when this happens. Oh, wait. It recovered. It recovered. It recovered. Okay, not bad. Not half bad. For that pack open. I want to see. Nope. Nope, that's probably the land right here. Okay, cool. Blip. Oil Schwampy. The fucking Gem Lightfoot. Wrangler of the Damned. Red Rock Sentinel. That's actually a pretty cool card. Festering Gulch. Tumbleweed. Fake Your Own Death. Iron Fist Pulverizer. Mercenary Token. Ooh, foil Detention Sphere. That's pretty neat. And is it a rare or mythic? It's a rare. Thought it was a mythic. It isn't. We got Siphon Insight. Got a Thieving Vermin. Silvala. Eager Trailblazer. Is that a good one? Whenever you cast some creature spell, create a 1/1 mercenary token with tap. Okay. Choose a color, add 1 mana of that color for each different power among creatures. Not amazing. Ooh, Kellen joins up for foil. You got Fling. And last, we got Terminal Agony. I don't think that was a good one. Nah, that wasn't a good one. But Loot though, I think is probably the best one of the three. And then the Gitrog. Whoa, Gitrog. It's nice. Let me actually look those up. Let's actually look those up for real. For real, let's look those up. Let's go to Card Kingdom because I want to do Card Kingdom. Oh, let's go there. It would be just a regular set. Thunder Junction singles. It would be high to low. Terror of the Peaks is still up there. Great Awaken, I got that one. I'm not seeing him. I'm not seeing a lot of movement. Oh, yep, the Giltrog monster. How much is a foil? $6.99. That's not bad. Not bad. Comparison to the regular one, not bad at all. I thought Loot was up here. I could be wrong. I might be blind. Wait, no, Loot's not in this one. He's in the different one. That's right. Yeah. He's in the... Where is it? Not the breaking news, the big score. That's where he is. Where are you, you little bugger? Where's that little bugger? Yeehaw. That's not that one, not that one. Keep going. Keep it going. Keep her going. Last GT. Brother, where art thou? Brother, where art thou? I'm starting to get confused on where he is. Oh, $2.99. Womp womp. Oh well. I mean, it's still good cards, though, I will say. Just adding anyone back. Yeah. Let's put these packs into the trash. Latrine. Take a drink. And we'll talk about more stuff. Oh. Now I just thought some actually pretty, decent, good things to know. Like lyric lore. I'm a black belt in karate. In Shotokan karate. So when I was very, very young, 2-3 years old, I was rambunctious as hell. I would climb any and everything. I would run around the house a lot. I was unwieldy, to say the least. Not in I'm causing mischief. No, I was just adventurous. But I'm also at the same time a little bit of a stinker. Just being stupid. So when my dad was talking with one of the karate instructors. Wait, I've already kind of told this before, but I was a little young to be going into karate, but when I was just I think a little bit younger than I was supposed to be, so he was talking to my karate teacher, or who would be my karate teacher, my first sensei, and he was like, well, can you take him in? He's like, well, he's a little too young yet, but once he becomes 4 or something, I can't remember, I'll do it. And sure enough, basically right when I turn that age, I was in there. First day, I was acting up a little bit. He got down to my level. It's we do not, basically to the effect of, we don't do that here. We sit down. He put the fear of God in me. It's I from then on, I was a lot more I was still rambunctious, but enough to be I was on the straight and narrow. But like I've definitely got a lot of control because of that. A lot more control because of it. And I feel like I got that rambunctious spirit from my grandma. Like, let's be honest, I did. Like, if my parents watch this, yeah, I think that's where I got it from. I think that's where it came from. Because my grandma's like, her in the home right now, she is a stinker. Like a literal stinker. Like, I don't, like some of the stories that I'm hearing about her at the home are just like her giving, I don't know if they're true, but like her giving, like someone stealing her chocolate, so she gave them laxatives. Going to bingo, but making sure the people that are at bingo are either hard of hearing or hard of sight. Like, what? Like, I definitely got that spirit from her. She is like, she's not all there, but she is like fiendish, like in a funny way. Yeah. But so back to like karate stuff, as I was talking before. My first sensei, and he's already dead. He's been long gone. He died before we even left. Before he left because he had I want to say he had a heart attack or stroke, and he wasn't in the best condition, but yeah, what he had, he was not gonna live. And I think it happened during his sleep, so he died peacefully in his sleep. And we all got a piece of his black belt. I still have mine. I think I know where I have it. I might actually be able to get it. Hold on real quick. Is it in here? Ooh, I don't know where it is. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I thought I knew where it was. But I think I know where it is. But we all got like a piece, like all of his students each got a piece of his black belt, or of one of his black belts. Because there are multiple degrees of black belts beyond the first. I only got my first because like after that, like there's a lot of stuff that you needed to do just to go up in the ranks. And I've already talked about like the ranking stuff previously, because I've even said some of the story before. Like I had 4 senseis. One of them technically I really didn't have. I really didn't, because he was the successor for my first one. And yeah, he was a rebel, and he died because he tried to light the association on fire. And whoops, gasoline lights up. And when you're in Arizona, it don't take much to do that. It really don't. And yeah, that's cool. But I remember, and I know one of my streaming buddies, Tartizzle, is from Tucson. We used to go to Tucson for the tournaments there quite a bit. I hate Tucson. I'll not like even though it's been so long and I can't really remember a whole lot, but like I remember going to it. The tournaments was fine, but like, dude, we were there and then we weren't. I'm just gonna say we were there and then we weren't there. For the tournament, probably stopped to get food, maybe here or there, and that's it. But yeah. Oh, I do remember a couple times, like we were tight with my my senseis, like my first and second down there. We were very tight because I remember after one of the karate tournaments, we went to Texas Roadhouse. Oh, I love Texas Roadhouse. And I just remember going there after one of the tournaments. It's like, really? Just like, really? Okay, I'm fine with it. But it's like, these are my senseis. I'm still utterly scared. Like I'm at the stage where like I respect them, but like my sensei could kick my ass. Like, I do not want to, like, I did not want to, like, disappoint him or make him mad or anything, because dude was scary. And he was like, he was a student of, why am I, not Bruce Lee. Am I thinking Bruce Lee? Yeah, Bruce Lee. Yeah. Yeah. But like, he was one of his students, and yeah, Bruce Lee. Yeah. I'm thinking right. He was a student of Bruce Lee, and and during like the 80s and whatever, he was like a bodyguard for multiple bands. So like, he was a big dude, and like, he could kick ass. But he was also very kind and very sweet and he was very cool. Like, as intimidating and as mean as he could be, he was also he was very good with the kids, and like, he disciplined hard. He didn't like do anything weird or stupid, but like, he was firm, and he wasn't afraid to get up in your face and be mean at all. But like, being embarrassed was like being shown in front of the class was definitely a way of getting at, like, making you embarrassed and stuff like that. Oh yeah, it was intense. The other sensei that was also, like, we would also like do stuff with him too. Like, he was more like free flowy, and like, he loved playing music in his dojo, and it's like, he was like kind of, I want to say, like, in a way, he was like kind of like I don't want to say like a disco guy, but he loved like free flowing movements and stuff like that, like doing it in his techniques and stuff like that. We'd go to him pretty often too, in addition to the regular stuff that I'd be doing for karate, because there was like two different disciplines, because you got my strict sensei, but then you also got one that's like a lot more like free flowing, and then we had a lot more like sparring and interaction at his dojo, while the first one would be like more technique and getting stuff right and doing the fundamentals and doing all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I just remember doing a lot of tournaments. But like, you'd be like, if you were to, the way that the tournaments would go, like, there's a lot of categories and stuff like that. Like, you'd be entered into basically every single freaking one of them, for age, size, stuff like that. And for every, like, you could trade up medals. So like, if you got a first place medal, you can trade that up for a trophy. But if you got enough trophies, you can trade it up for a bigger trophy. But if you got enough of those bigger trophies, you could trade up for an even bigger trophy, and went on and on and on. Or even like for the lower medals, like, if you got a third place, you got 2 or 3 of them, you could trade up for a silver. But if you got a couple of the silvers together, you could trade up for a gold, and so on and so forth. And like, the whole goal was, I think, between the dojos, was to get as many, big ranking ones as possible. And yeah, like, there was sparring, there was kata, which is just a form dance, walk with danger, which is just a basically freeform BS, make up your own kata, whatever. Like punching, kicking, stuff like that. And even sparring too, was another way. We'd have pads and stuff like that. So not like in the Karate Kid, but they were like pads and helmets and things like that. So there's no way that you would get hurt. And like, nut cups and things like that. But yeah, those were nice. But every single time we went to one, it was a whole day. It was a whole day. But they were fun. They were very fun. And even when we moved up to Minnesota, like with my last sensei, the one that I got my black belt with, I think we did maybe 2, maybe 3 rounds of tournaments at the same place, but we didn't, there wasn't much to do in terms of that. And once I got my black belt, I was basically the sensei's assistant and helping the students and doing their techniques and stuff like that and helping them train. Is basically what, once we got a black belt, is what we were assigned to do. I mean, there was a hefty process to get to it. But the big point was breaking like wooden boards with our fists and feet, and you had to do it for both. And no offense, I kind of cheated. But I did it. I sure as hell did it. And I got my black belt. And I feel like I would have gotten it anyways, but like I definitely kind of did. But I have one. And yeah, and it definitely helps that I also know wrestling, because again, like when I did a little thing where me and my friend did some like taekwondo or, you know, like MMA style stuff, and I didn't like beat people up, but I just dominated the floor. Like no one could beat me because like I knew how to wrestle and know how to get into people's zones without even them, like they couldn't do anything. Like I had to fight the heaviest guy solely because no one else could take me, like every single time. And it's like, seriously? Like the heaviest kid, it's like I had to fight him because like he was the only one that could even give me a chance, like a run and go, and I'd still be like, have him on his back and be like, whoop. In that position where I was like, I could punch right now, but of course you can't, because no. It's like, I'm already in position. You can't do anything. You're done. You do not have control in this situation. Yeah. Those are good times. Yeah, I just remember having a lot of memories going to the dojo, or even the school that we'd always do it all the time. And I do miss him. And my first sensei, like yeah, they were tight with my family. So one time one of my parents' cars got jacked because it's Arizona and stuff and whatever. It happens. So one of the times that our cars got stolen, my dad, my sensei, my and like two of my uncles went out to find it. Like they all did. I mean, that was crazy that even like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna join in. And they went and found it. I mean, it was on like cinder blocks, but they found it. And this is a testament to Arizona, for Maricopa County, because Maricopa County is the cops there are intense. There's a reason why the Miranda rights exist, and it's because of Maricopa County. It's literally because of them. Look it up. And it's funny. Like, it's bad, but it's funny. Because still to this day, Maricopa County cops, or like the stories that I just hear. I mean, yeah, they could be pushovers, but like just the stories and like that is just funny. So the person that stole the car, they must have had some like cartel or some gang stuff going on. I don't know. But they just so happened to be found dead in the desert, like either a couple days or a week or so-ish to whatever later, just in the desert, dead. They just, the cops found them. It could have been something with, like gangs, but yeah, it could have been them. Because that's Maricopa County. It literally could have been them. And then covering it up. But I don't know. It's also a very long time ago, so I don't remember exactly when. And yeah. But I do have like photos like behind me of my senseis. Well, of my three main senseis. I'm not gonna the other one that like replaced my first one. I literally like went to maybe one of his things, and I didn't go afterwards because it was not good. And plus I had other things going on. So like, I think at that time, that's when I think I was diving, and we had more different things to do. And yeah. So, I mean, I think I still did it, but not as like intense as it was right before we moved. And then when we moved, got back into it, or got harder into it, because like diving in Minnesota is kind of hard. Like, now in my town, it would have been a lot easier because there's like a swimming facility and pool and stuff like that. But when I was like going through the school system, hell no. I would have to go like 30 minutes just to find a pool. Even then, like, find a diving team / pool to really do it. So it's like, at that point, no. Even though my town, I think, did even at the time have a swimming diver team, like a male diving team, no. So yeah, nah. But I was also good at diving too, and I've already told that story before. Again, past episode. But like a lot of and I was thinking about telling that one, but I've already told it, and I feel like the karate one I haven't really delved into that much. Mainly because I just haven't. I mean, yeah, I've told a lot of it, but I haven't gotten to the nitty gritty. But yeah. Like, yeah, that's one. And I don't want to say their names because even though I'm pretty sure 2 of them now are dead, maybe all 3. I don't know. Who knows? I have not had contact with them in years, over a decade. So it could be dead. Who knows? It's life. But yeah, they were good instructors, and I am grateful for their teachings. And yeah. But I was really taught. And I remember one time a kid was like being mean or like kind of bullying-ish. Not like actually, but I felt like they were. And one of the like disciplining things that my first sensei would do is say Anza, or in a way just saying sit down, crisscross applesauce, just like hands on your knees and just meditate, basically. And I remember my dad's like, hey, Anza, now. Like, you may have done nothing. And I like pushed him over. And then he's like, hey, down, Anza. You're not doing anything for like 20 minutes. And I just remember sitting in the park, just like, I know I'm mad, I'm angry, but like, damn it, you're right. But yeah. I'm grateful for their teachings. And I'm also grateful for you guys. Thank you for listening and watching, doing what you do, and all that other stuff. But wait, I'm too far ahead of myself. If you want to watch this live, you can go to twitch.tv/MeltDark Original, all one word. And if you miss it live, you can still watch the VOD. But you can also watch the after show if you watch this live, or the VOD, because whatever. But after that 2-week time period, that's on. Once it's gone, it's gone. It ain't here no more. So get it while you can, I guess. But if you do miss it, you go to my YouTube channel where I post not only that, but I post other like videos and stuff like that of varying length and quality and subject matter. Just funny memes most of the time. And yeah, maybe some magic TikToks that I do there, but I don't know. I feel like if TikTok were to go away, like legitimately go away, I think I'd probably like compilation the videos that I have and just put them on it as a video. So stay tuned to that if that does happen, because I have a good chunk of them. Yeah, just like archiving them, because that's probably something I should do. I'm very good with remembering to archive that sort of stuff. Yeah. Thank you to Gradients for the use of their song "Used to It" off of the album "The Call." I know they're moving to the cities, moving to the Twin Cities area. I don't know when. I need to get in contact with them and see what they're doing, because I think the last of their band members John just graduated college. Whoopee for him. Hell yeah. And I think their lease is ending soon. I honestly should get in contact with them and see what they're doing, and see if they need help, because I'm sure as shit willing to help, but I need to know when and if. But I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah. And they're getting closer and closer, hopefully, to releasing new music. I mean, they probably still gotta do stuff beforehand, but we'll see. And yeah. And as I said before, thank you guys for listening, watching, doing what you do, and all that other stuff. But as I now look at the time, it's not midnight here anymore, but it's midnight somewhere else. So you know what that means. I forgot what that means. Sorry, no joke. I just blanked out for a second. It's not midnight here, but it's midnight somewhere else. So until it becomes midnight here once again, I'll see you later. But until then, bye-bye.
Used to it.